Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going deep on Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
You know, more than just martial arts, right?
Yeah.
We're getting into his philosophy and his impact.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And our source is really interesting for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually an Arabic Wikipedia article about Bruce Lee.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to see his story told through this, really different cultural lens.
I love that. That's amazing.
It really shows how global his influence is.
It really does. Yeah, his influence goes way beyond just martial arts.
It does, and it kind of makes you realize, he's a global icon.
Definitely. Yeah, this source especially helps us understand that.
Yeah, and right off the bat, it mentions something about his birth.
Oh!
So he was born in San Francisco in 1940
Okay.
during the Hour of the Dragon.
The Hour of the Dragon?
Yeah, according to, Chinese astrology.
I wonder what that means.
I know. I was curious about that, too.
Yeah, what is the significance of that?
Right.
Especially, thinking about how his story is perceived through a Chinese cultural lens.
Yeah.
So the Hour of the Dragon in Chinese astrology, it's associated with strength, charisma, and a natural tendency toward leadership.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's a really lucky time to be born.
Oh, wow.
And it's almost like predicting a life that's full of these qualities,
Yeah.
Strength, charisma, leadership.
He was destined.
And you look at Bruce Lee's life, and it's interesting how all of those characteristics just kind of witch throughout his journey,
Yeah, it's almost like he was, destined to have this impact.
Right.
To be this powerful.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't easy, though.
Oh, no, definitely not an easy path.
Especially in Hollywood.
Especially in Hollywood.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to, make it
in that time.
in an industry that's not ready for you?
And not ready for, an Asian leading man.
Right.
Forget about challenging stereotypes. It was just the industry itself wasn't even ready for that.
And he pushed boundaries.
He did, and he faced so much prejudice and
Yeah.
typecasting. He was always the stereotypical bad guy.
Right.
Which is just frustrating.
So frustrated. Yeah. How did he even, overcome that?
He had this raw talent
Yeah.
and charisma.
You couldn't ignore him.
It just shined through.
It's like he was meant to, break those barriers.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, and, become this phenomenon.
Become a global phenomenon, exactly.
Yeah, his films like The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon.
Classics.
Those were more than just, action movies,
Oh,
right?
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
They were cultural touchstones.
Yeah.
They challenged stereotypes and they popularized martial arts in a whole new way.
Yeah.
And he was so skilled, but he also brought these deeper themes like identity,
Right.
self-expression, and overcoming adversity.
Right, and he was not afraid to, show off his skills, but then also, bring these themes in.
He wove them together beautifully. You think about Enter the Dragon, his first Hollywood-produced film.
Yeah.
That was a global sensation.
It really was.
I mean, it just cemented his legacy.
Yeah, as a cultural icon.
And introduced kung fu to the mainstream.
It's wild.
It really is, To achieve that kind of success while still pushing back against all the limitations.
Yeah, against the system.
Against the system. Yeah, Hollywood was trying to put him in a box and he just broke out of it.
Yeah, it's his fight against racism and prejudice
Yeah.
became intertwined with the characters he was portraying on screen.
Absolutely.
So it amplified his message even more
Did, yeah.
to break boundaries.
It's powerful.
Yeah, and his philosophy it went beyond martial arts too, right?
Absolutely. He was such a deep thinker,
Yeah.
constantly evolving and adapting.
That's where Jeet Kune Do comes in, right?
Exactly, the way of the intercepting fist.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but what makes it unique?
So it's not just about the physical techniques. It was a philosophy about life itself.
Oh, wow.
He rejected all those rigid traditional styles.
Oh, interesting.
And he advocated for practicality, adaptability, and self-expression.
So it's discover what works best for you.
Exactly. Instead of clinging to all these rules.
Yeah.
He wanted his students to find what worked for them as individuals.
So it wasn't just about winning a fight.
Oh.
It was more about understanding.
The deeper principles
Yeah,
and
yeah.
applying them to life in general.
I see. So how does that connect to combat?
Well, he believed in taking what worked and discarding what didn't.
Okay.
Constantly adapting to new situations, challenges. And I think that reflects his own experiences,
Yeah.
navigating a world that often tried to confine him.
I can see that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and one of the things that's like super intriguing about Jeet Kune Do, it's like emphasis on interception.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
about being proactive.
Yeah.
It's not just reacting.
Oh, interesting.
It's about anticipating
Yeah.
your opponent's moves and like intercepting them before they even happen.
Oh, wow.
It's about timing, strategy, and understanding your opponent.
And it's almost like that mirrors like how he approached life.
Exactly.
He wasn't waiting for opportunity. He was like,
He was creating it,
yeah.
shaping it. Yeah, he took control of his career, his art, his message.
Wow.
He didn't let Hollywood define him.
Yeah.
He redefined what it meant to be an Asian actor in a system that, like, wasn't ready for him.
Yeah,
A true innovator, always pushing, challenging.
And that's what made him so inspiring.
Absolutely.
Not just to martial artists, but like to everyone.
To everyone, yeah.
He showed that you could achieve anything if you were willing to. Like,
Challenge limitations.
yeah, forge your own path.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he wasn't afraid to question the status quo.
Nope, not at all.
Whether it was like in martial arts or in society, he used his platform to fight for representation,
Yeah.
equality, inspiring others to do the same.
Such a powerful legacy.
And it's incredible how his influence just like went beyond cultural boundaries.
I really did.
Like this Arabic Wikipedia article, it shows that like so clearly.
It does.
Like it presents his story.
in a way that resonates with a whole different audience.
Yeah, and that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
It really does.
It's about understanding how his message resonated with people from like all walks of life,
from different backgrounds, different cultures.
and how his legacy like continues to inspire us today.
Continues to inspire, absolutely.
It's about understanding the man, like behind the myth.
Yeah, the philosopher behind the fighter.
He was more than just a martial arts master.
Oh, yeah.
He was a thinker,
An artist.
a cultural icon
Yeah.
who challenged everything and paved the way for like future generations.
He did. He paved the way for so many. And like one of the most powerful things about his legacy is that it goes beyond his like physical ability.
Right.
He was a deep thinker.
Yeah.
Philosophy was so important to him.
Oh, yeah.
It shaped how he approached like martial arts and life.
Yeah, it's interesting how he like blended Eastern and Western philosophies.
Right.
Did that show up in his martial arts too?
Totally.
Okay.
So he studied philosophy at the University of Washington.
Mm.
And all that academic stuff, it just like blended with his martial arts training.
Oh, cool.
Like he was inspired by Taoism, Zen Buddhism, even Western philosophers.
Really?
Yeah, Nietzsche, Sartre.
Wow.
He wasn't afraid to explore all sorts of ideas. And that's reflected in Jeet Kune Do. It's
Okay.
about like taking what works,
Yeah.
no matter where it comes from, and adapting.
So it's not just about fighting.
No, it's a way of thinking.
Mindset. Yeah. Okay.
He famously said, "Be water, my friend."
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah, it's about being like formless and shapeless, adapting to any situation.
Right.
And that's like central to Jeet Kune Do.
Okay.
Be flexible in your thinking.
So how does that work in like a fight?
It's about flowing with your opponent's energy, finding their weaknesses,
Right.
exploiting them with precision and like efficiency.
Wow. And that applies to like way more than just martial arts,
Right.
like navigating life
Life's complexities, yeah.
and doing it with grace.
And adapting, yeah.
Yeah.
He believed in constantly evolving, learning, growing.
Like always getting better.
Yeah, physically, mentally.
It's awesome.
And his message really resonated with people.
Yeah.
Especially people facing like their own oppression and adversity.
It's a powerful message.
It is, yeah. Self-expression, resilience, pushing beyond limits.
And speaking of like cultural barriers, it's so interesting how this Arabic Wikipedia article presents his story.
Right.
Like it really emphasizes his global reach.
It does.
And all the different perspectives people have of him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It really does.
It talks about his connection to his Chinese heritage. Even though he was born in America, you know,
Yeah.
and became famous in Hollywood.
It's like he,
It's like he blends the East and West,
yeah.
bridging cultures and philosophies.
Yeah, in a way that was like super unique for his time.
It was, absolutely.
And the article mentions some cultural things that might not be familiar to like a Western audience.
Oh, right.
Like his birth during the Hour of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and it's like astrological significance.
It is significant. Yeah, can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so in Chinese astrology, the Hour of the Dragon is like super powerful.
Okay.
It's auspicious. And people born during this hour are believed to have like inherent strength,
Oh, wow.
charisma, and leadership skills.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's seen as a time when, like, cosmic energy aligns,
Like fate.
to create these individuals who are just, like, destined for greatness.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it just adds, like, another layer to his story,
It does, yeah.
showing how different cultures, like, view his life.
It reminds us that there are many ways to understand a story.
Yeah.
Like, there's not just one interpretation.
Yeah, and it's, like, especially interesting because his life was cut short.
Oh, yeah.
He died so young.
He did way too young.
In 1973.
32 years old?
32. Do you think that, like, contributed to the mystique around him?
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
It was so sudden, so unexpected.
And he was just getting started, you know?
Yeah, it makes you wonder what else he could have done.
Yeah. And there were a lot of controversies about his death. Right?
Oh, yeah, tons of conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
which just added to the mystery.
Right.
But no matter what happened, his impact was huge.
Oh, yeah.
He left a legacy that still inspires people today.
He's more than just a historical figure, you know?
He's a symbol,
Yeah.
an icon,
Yeah.
representing self-belief, perseverance, pushing beyond limits.
Yeah. And his image, his films, his quotes.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's still so recognizable.
In movies, TV, video games, even ads.
It's crazy.
It's like he's woven into pop culture.
Total.
He's a global phenomenon.
But it's more than just pop culture, right?
Right.
His philosophy, his approach to
It
life.
still resonates with people.
Yeah, from all walks of life.
He was
man.
all about self-expression, breaking down barriers.
Constantly pushing yourself.
To be better, yeah.
And he embraced being different
He did.
and encouraged others to do the same.
In a world that tries to put everyone in boxes,
Yeah.
he was like, no, be yourself.
Yeah. And that's, like, so relevant today.
More than ever.
Yeah, we're all, like, figuring out our identity.
Just trying to find our voice.
Yeah, and the world can be overwhelming.
It can be, for sure.
But he showed us that we don't have to conform,
Exactly.
that we have the power to create our own path.
He took control of his own story. He could have stayed in Hong Kong, done things the traditional way.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He challenged everything.
He broke down barriers
Yeah,
and forged his own destiny.
he did.
That's amazing. His life is like a testament to self-belief,
It is.
to perseverance, and to like the courage to pursue your passions.
No matter what obstacles you face.
Yeah.
And his legacy inspires us to embrace our individuality.
To challenge limitations.
We never stop striving for more.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening.
It has.
It's so much more than just martial arts.
It's a way of
A
life.
philosophy.
Yeah, how to approach challenges.
And believe in yourself.
And what's really amazing is that, like, we've covered so much,
I know.
but we've only scratched the surface.
There's always more to learn about Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
his philosophy, his films, his
But
impact.
how his legacy continues to shape the world.
It's incredible.
And this Arabic Wikipedia article has been, like, such a cool starting point,
Yeah.
offering this, like, unique lens to view his life. It really highlights the universality of his message
Yeah.
and how he still inspires people all over the world.
It's amazing. And it's in another language.
It really shows the power of his legacy.
Yeah.
It goes beyond language, culture, even time.
Yeah, his story still resonates.
It sparks curiosity.
It makes you want to, like, learn more.
Exactly.
And that's what the deep dive is all about.
Taking one source
And using it as a springboard
to dive deeper.
into a whole world of knowledge.
Yeah, going beyond the surface.
Finding hidden connections.
and new perspectives.
This deep dive has been like a real journey.
It has.
Not just about Bruce Lee.
but about the power of ideas.
Yeah, how they can like transcend boundaries.
And inspire people.
Yeah, for generations.
It's amazing.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, listener.
Ooh, I like these.
We've talked about so much.
We have
His fight against racism,
his martial arts,
his philosophy.
his impact.
What do you think is his most enduring contribution?
That's a good one.
Like, what will people still be talking about?
100 years from now.
Yeah. What's his legacy?
For me, it's his belief in self-expression,
Oh.
adaptability, constant growth.
Those are, like, timeless.
They really are.
They resonate with everyone.
Across cultures and generations.
He challenged us to be like water,
To adapt to anything.
to embrace change.
Never stop learning.
It's about pushing beyond limitations
The ones we put on ourselves.
and the ones the world puts on us.
And realizing that true strength,
It's about being fluid,
adaptable.
always improving.
It's about taking control.
Yeah, of your own story.
Bruce Lee could have stayed in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
followed tradition.
But he didn't.
He chose to challenge everything.
To break down barriers.
And his own path.
His life shows us the power of self-belief.
Of perseverance.
Of pursuing your passions.
No matter the obstacles.
And his legacy.
Inspires us.
To embrace who we are.
To challenge limits.
To never stop striving.
For something more.
So listen, as you continue your own journey,
remember what we've learned today.
Embrace your voice.
Challenge the norms.
Keep learning.
And maybe
you'll inspire future generations.
Just like Bruce Lee inspires us.
It's a nice thought.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
into the amazing life and legacy of Bruce Lee.
Until next time,
keep exploring.